What's up everyone, I'm finally back with another video, and today I got for us some Fortnite in the background, and I'm going to be reacting to a Brett Cooper video. So without further ado, let's hop right into it.
Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about one of the most expected and predictable relationship dramas that everyone on the internet saw coming. We're talking about streamer Destiny and the demise of his open marriage.
Yeah, that's a girl name.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes.
True. I bet that individual on the left is very rational and a very intelligent person.
It is.
Shocking. The marriage that allowed each partner to sleep with whoever they wanted, whenever they wanted, didn't work out. Crazy, isn't it? We're going to dive into all the details, but before...
You know, I actually didn't see Destiny and Melena's marriage ending. I thought that it was pretty good, and I thought that the fact that it was open was one of the main reasons that they had it in the first place from everything that I saw.
Before we do, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to this channel if you've not already, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss...
Man, fuck that shit. Don't subscribe to that channel. Subscribe to this one and like this video instead. Fuck Brett Cooper.
It's a comment section or off the clock episode. Okay, so if you do not know who he is, Destiny is an OG streamer who has been making content for over a decade. I've reacted to some of his stuff in previous episodes, but he and his wife, Melina, were very publicly in an open marriage where either of them could sleep with whoever they wanted, whenever they wanted, yada, yada, yada. And they were very, very proud of this publicly open relationship. So much so that they would literally go on to podcasts together just to defend their relationship and show how happy they truly were and how awesome it was and how it really, really worked in their favor. Just pretty normal stuff for, you know, your average conventional happy couple. That happens all the time, obviously, that you have to stand up in front of a public audience and defend your relationship at all costs. Anyway, watch this.
I mean, obviously Destiny and Melina would be on those podcasts talking about their relationship regardless because they live very unique and, you know, kind of absurd lives that people would be interested in knowing about anyways, so even if they weren't in an open relationship. But it also wasn't really the case that they were going on these to like just preach for everyone to be in an open relationship. A lot of red pillars and conservatives were attacking them for having an open relationship, and they just went on there to defend it. So I mean, that's pretty reasonable and normal for anybody to do if their relationship is being attacked.
This clip from the Whatever podcast.
The 5 best sexual partners that I've had in my life were all the people that I were in the long-term relationships with. So, like on a one-night stand, like it's...
Oh my God, it's crazy. Almost like having an emotional connection with the person you're sleeping with makes an impact. Oh my God, that's insane. Almost like commitment is a good thing. Sorry. Okay, we're gonna go on.
Well, nobody said that emotional connections or commitments can't like affect a relationship. I mean, they can have positive or negative effects. Like a positive effect might be having more sentimental value being experienced when you and your partner do something. You and your long-term partner have done something because of the emotional connections and the commitments that you have. A negative effect might be that an individual's connection and commitment to someone is so strong that they stay within a partner when they're abusive. That would be an example of how emotional connections and commitments can be negative. But regardless of that, on top of the fact that emotional connections and commitments can be good or bad for relationships, it's also the case that people can experience these emotional commitments or connections in different ways. Like maybe people experience them in more meaningful ways in an open relationship like Destiny and Melina compared to in a closed relationship where someone like Brett Cooper might more prefer that, which is totally okay, but these are just different preferences that people have.
Even really gotten into the good stuff yet, but shocker.
On a one-night stand, like it's hard to know, like one-night stands aren't even that fun sexually, depending on what you're looking for.
I can agree that the longer you're with somebody, the better sex gets, so why is she not enough?
Why is she not enough?
Guys, that's Billy Ray Brandt. She's the star of Lady Ballers that Daily Wire just put out. She's so good, and that was just a hard-hitting question because his wife is literally sitting right next to him. Right next to him.
I mean, like, it's kind of like...
Yes.
I mean, the reason why it's a hard-hitting question is because it's a rude question, because it's built on first and foremost a false premise that Destiny doesn't think Melina is enough for him, which he's never said, and secondly, it implies that their relationship isn't working out because it's open. Both of these things are incorrect.
It's kind of like if you've got like a close friend, but then you've got other friends. Like, well, why is that one friend not enough? Because in life, sometimes variety is fun.
Yes, every woman loves hearing from her husband that she's just like a friend.
No. We're just friends.
You know, you need a lot of friends. You need a lot of wives. The two are totally interchangeable. Exactly what your wife wants to hear. Yes.
What?
I don't think I need to spend too much time on this, but yeah, like what Destiny was saying in the clip was an analogy. Wasn't even like saying wives or friends or wives or anything like that. I was just saying like similarly to how you can have many friends, and that doesn't decrease the value of any of your friends in particular. You can have many sexual partners, and that doesn't decrease the value of any particular sexual partner. And further, it especially doesn't decrease the value of his relationship with Melina, because his relationship with Melina obviously is more meaningful than just their sexual relationship, which I would hope that conservatives and red pillars would know. But unfortunately, it seems like it's always only the case that they can equate women with sexual objects.
I thought we were in the trust tree in the nest, are we not?
Marriage is
something that's
not a
slightly different.
friendship.
I
It
didn't
is
say
not the
marriage was
same
a
as
friendship, but
and it
marriage to
doesn't
me
have the
isn't
same
just about
boundaries as a
my
friend.
going and a lot of aspects to my marriage that I share with my wife that's really unique to my wife that I don't share with other people. It's just not one of those things.
The whole thing is just so bad. Somebody commented and said, you can totally see the wheels in her head moving as he talks. Yes, like saying the best sex he's had has been with people he was in a long-term relationship with, but that's not the case for their relationship. And their marriage, you know, is different because you need to have lots of different friends. And a wife is basically a friend.
Well, he was including Melina in those long-term relationships that he's had the best sexual experiences with. So it wasn't like he was saying Melina's like a friend, so that's why she's different from all my other previous relationships and they were closed and now I have an open one because Melina's like a friend. No, it's just that with the long-term partners Destiny's had, including Melina, he's enjoyed those sexual experiences the most, but he still prefers to keep an open relationship that, you know, he's able to dabble in.
It makes no sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Those really aren't the things that your wife would want to hear. Somebody else commented and said equating a marriage and friendships. Yeah, exactly. It's a very, very odd thing to equate. And like I
That's always the conservative thought process. It's just some sort of like emotional response to a statement or something, and they think that that emotional response is in itself what justifies the statement as being true. So that comment says,
somebody else commented and said
equating a marriage and friendships, which first and foremost Destiny didn't even do, but let's say that he did. Equating a marriage and friendships. That's it. That's the statement with a facepalm emoji. The conservatives think that saying that is just enough, and because they have an emotional response that this is bad, that's correct. Right? They don't do any further digging or have any actual thought process in which they determine whether or not that emotional response is valid. It's just, that's the end of the line.
equating a marriage and friendships. Yeah, exactly. It's a very, very odd thing to equate. And like I said, at the beginning of the clip, he basically describes how being with one person longer makes him happier. Then, once his argument falls apart, and Billy Ray pushes a little further and says, so why is she not enough? He just fell back on saying that sleeping with multiple people just makes him happier. He wants the flavor of the month. It's basically just a friendship. He needs a lot of people in the friendship. And speaking of how happy and stable they obviously are as a couple, I was reminded of this viral clip from last year where you can...
I'm a little bit confused what she's talking about, him falling apart and all that stuff, because I didn't see that. So I think what happened was that he said she is enough, but similarly to friends, he can have multiple sexual partners and still enjoy the sexual experiences that he has with his wife, as well as enjoying her as his wife, which is not just sex.
Truly see just how much Destiny loves watching his wife flirt with other men right in front of him. Take a look.
Mel time. It's Mel time.
Oh, she got the form. Okay. So we're just doing salsa or just one?
Yep. Okay. Get the life draining from his eyes.
I mean, yeah, it's just a really awkward situation.
5, 6, 7, 1. 5, 6, 7, 1.
Like, this obviously went viral for a reason. It was at this moment that everybody collectively on the internet went, oh, dude. Like, dude, I am so sorry. This is not going to work out in your favor. My friend, this is very, very bad. And you can see it in his eyes. Does this look like a happy man? No. Not in the slightest. Like, you can't go on press tours saying how amazing your open marriage is when this is your instinctual reaction to seeing a dude dance with your wife. Like,
I mean, shit, I'd probably be pretty uncomfortable too if like two people just kind of randomly started dancing like on my stream, like behind me and shit. It'd just be kind of like weird. I'd be like, shit, I was just like streaming, planning on streaming and shit. These motherfuckers just started dancing and shit. I don't know how to dance. Maybe I'd like to dance if I knew how to. They're not teaching. You know, there's a multitude of things that might be going on inside that guy's head. I don't think it's fair for Brett Cooper to assume. And I don't know why every conservative thinks somehow they become like experts in the social sciences and now they're like really good psychologists or psychoanalysts or whatever, and now they're able to tell the motivations of everyone and every single particular action. It's like, man, y'all don't know shit. You're just guessing. You're just making shit up.
everything is crumbling around you. Now, a little later in the video, he pipes in. You just have to hear what he says.
I was getting footage for his next cuck video on me. Thanks. I see what's going on here.
Oh my God, he let his wife dance with another man.
He said, "In what? You want to slap her
next?" They make it sound like we was grinding or some shit. Like, yo, chill, be easy.
That whole situation is just incredibly uncomfortable. But he literally points it out. Like, this is such sad and insecure behavior. Like, he knows how weird this relationship is. He knows that he can't hide the fact that it makes him uncomfortable.
Like, just notice, like, look at what she's doing. Like, she's just making all this shit up. Like, she doesn't know this for, like, she's just crafted up a story. Listen.
Like, he knows how weird this relationship is. He knows that he can't hide the fact that it makes him uncomfortable. So he has to address it because he knows people online are going to talk. That's why he says, oh, yeah, they're going to make some cucked video compilation. Obviously, dude. Because again,
well, yeah, obviously people are going to talk about it. Everybody knows that. Your title's literally Destiny's Very Predictable Divorce. Everybody was invested in this because you fucking red pillars are fucking freaks and obsessed over this stupid shit.
Look at your face. Do you look happy? No. Your wife is dancing with another man. If you were not so publicly in an open relationship, cheering this on, saying this is so amazing, yes, let's celebrate this, nobody would think anything different. Oh, maybe she's just dancing with a friend, whatever. Who cares? But we all know because you made it public.
What the wait, what are you implying? Is Brett Cooper implying because Abba and Melina dance, that means that we can assume Abba and Melina were banging? There's no fucking chance. There's no... I mean, shit, I wasn't assuming that. See, this is what I mean when I say that the conservatives can only view women as sex objects. Like, Melina is a person, I was a person, they both like dancing. They're fucking dancing. What the hell?
Very aggressively so. Like, I'm sure he feels awful and like he just wants to crawl into a hole and be cozy, which he could do with Pajamagram.
Man,
now,
fuck you. Fuck your pajamas.
Is what sent they are for they Pajamagram. Somebody commented and said, bro looks so happy. This is definitely a healthy relationship.
Obviously,
somebody else said the fact that this dude thinks that he is in the authority to give out any life or relationship advice is hilarious. Somebody else said Destiny's body.
Okay, so what I was saying about the first comment.
Commented and said, bro.
You didn't hear. Like, obviously it wasn't a healthy relationship. I don't think it had anything to do with it being open. I mean, it was just how the relationship was and the two individuals that were in it. This next comment. The fact that this dude thinks he is in the authority to give out any life or relationship advice is bleeping hilarious. I mean, you know, I don't really think any of this is like grounds to dismiss Destiny as an individual who gives advice on life or relationships. Like, he had a divorce. People go through divorces, you know. We'd have to look more into like the reasons why it's happening. You can't just say, oh, because he had an open relationship and then he had a divorce, and we're saying that because he was in an open relationship, that's why the divorce happened, and that means that this guy now can't give relationship advice. It's like, Look more into it, man. Look more into it. These motherfuckers don't look into shit. They just make up these narratives and shit, and it's like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, man, look at the facts. Just look at the facts.
Authority to give out any life or relationship advice is hilarious. Somebody else said Destiny's body language says it all here. He is incredibly closed off, irritated, and isn't engaging in their behavior because he is feeling extremely powerless in this situation.
See, every time the conservatives, they think that they're actually like psychoanalysts and like psychologists, and the narrative that they crafted up is like the only correct and possible way that anything can be explained or interpreted. It's like, no, motherfucker. Destiny's body language, maybe, like, yeah, it does say, like, he's, like, uncomfortable and, like, this is awkward, sure, but, like, that's what most people's body language probably would be, and you are just making up some sort of assumption for why he has that body language, rather than, you know, actually being like, hey, maybe there's many possible different explanations. Maybe Destiny's having a bad day. Maybe Destiny had something else planned, like they were going to go to dinner soon, or, you know, a number of different things. Like, maybe he's worried about how you guys are going to, like, come and harass him now because you guys are going to be like, oh, see, Destiny's uncomfortable about his relationship, blah, 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 blah. And that's fucking annoying because you guys don't shut the fuck up.
Yes, and it does not take a genius to figure out how this relationship ends. But before we get into that, here's one more clip from the Whatever podcast when they were on, and it aged perfectly. Like, I'm sure he is punching himself over saying this.
God forbid this happens. Will it be fun if this open relationship ends up causing things to fall apart down the line if one of you guys finds yourself in a...
Also, guys, this is Sovereign Bruh on Twitter, and I've talked about him before. His tweets are fantastic. He seems great. He's dope. I reacted to his stuff on Whatever Pod before. That's who he is if you need a face behind the tweets. But
man, fuck him, his face, and his tweets. God damn, get back to the fucking video.
This is good. Okay.
An entanglement, so to speak, with with somebody who you might find a deeper connection with than the other person. Like, if that causes the relationship to fall apart, that probably wouldn't be very fun.
No, it would be horrible, and it would be sad. But monogamous relationships have the same issue, right?
Issue, yes.
How many times do you have like a man that falls in love with a coworker, or a woman that falls in love with a friend that she spends too much time with? Like, monogamous people have to put up a lot of boundaries in their relationships because they worry about the same types of things, you know?
Do you guys have a high degree of confidence that your marriage will last for decades?
I mean, I married her without a prenup, so I fucking hope so.
The tension. Yeah, I hope so. The way that they grabbed each other's hands. Also,
oh my God.
Yes.
Like, see everything. Like, oh my God. Did you see the way that they grabbed each other's hand? People only grab each other's hand that way when they are worried about their open relationship leading them to have a divorce, because especially when they didn't sign the prenup, and like, man, you're just making this shit up, man. They're grabbing each other's hand. They were in a relationship at that time.
Monogamous relationships can fall apart. People do break up. People cheat. That is a sad fact. It is a sad reality of the world. However, you can't equate that to your open marriage, where you are intentionally letting other people in. You are intentionally saying, I'm going to go sleep with other people, no strings attached. No, it is a lie to believe that sex is completely devoid of emotion, that you will not form connections with the people. No, that is an utter lie. You are setting your relationship up for failure by being in this kind of marriage. So yes, monogamous relationships do fall apart. That happens every single day. We talk about celebrity breakups all the time, but this is a totally different situation, considering that you have no boundaries to begin with. None. At all. You cannot say that they are the same thing. Somebody commented and said that.
Well, open relationships do have boundaries. That's clear, right? Otherwise, Melina and Destiny wouldn't be getting divorced, or nobody with an open relationship would get divorced, because there'd be no reason to, because they have no boundaries. But they do, as we can see. Destiny and Melina got divorced because Melina was spending too much time with a different guy or whatever. All that kind of stuff, right? So, they do have boundaries. To Brett Cooper's point, that for some reason open relationships and closed relationships can't be compared, because in open relationships you're inviting in more of the possibility of someone developing a emotional connection with someone else that will lead to them cheating or whatever. Doesn't make any sense. Like, those kinds of emotional connections can develop, you know, regardless of the situation, and it's up to the people who are, you know, determining their relationship to decide, hey, is this sort of a thing that we would like to partake in, or even, if we're going to accept Brett Cooper's premise, a risk that we would like to take on. And if they're like, yeah, we do, And that's totally fine for them to do, and that's up to them to do so. It's whatever.
This is so depressing. Who would have imagined how this would turn out, right? Everybody online. Somebody else said she's definitely divorcing him and getting that bread. LOL. Yes, I mean, he married into one of the most toxic and confusing forms of relationship that is statistically proven to not last. And yet he...
Okay, I would like to see those statistics. Words. I would like to see those statistics, because that'd be pretty interesting. But of course, Brett Cooper did not provide them.
Believed in it so much that he did not even consider a prenup.
Oh, stupid.
But now he's like clenching onto her hand, being like, please, this better work out for decades to come. Come on. Like, dude. But as literally everybody was anticipating and predicting and expecting, she has left him. And yes, it was for another guy that she was sleeping with, just as everyone told him, tried to warn him. Here's a tweet about it. Drama alert. Destiny's wife, Melina, who he's in an open relationship with, reportedly ran off with a man in Sweden. And obviously, I don't want to just sit around and laugh about this because all heartbreak sucks. It is painful. I'm sure he's going through a lot. But dude, you could have predicted this from the start. We all have. Like, just the way that you presented the relationship public.
And this is the thing. The conservatives and red pillars did predict this from the start. They did predict that Melina and Destiny, their relationship would end. The only issue is they think that because they predicted the outcome of Melina and Destiny's relationship correct, they think that their reasoning for predicting that outcome was correct, when we have seen no evidence of that, and we've only seen evidence to the contrary, right? We've only seen evidence that Destiny and Melina enjoyed the fact that they had an open relationship, and in fact, it was probably the only reason they had a relationship to even begin with, right? We've only seen evidence of that rather than evidence that Destiny and Melina broke up because they weren't enjoying their open relationship, right? And even though Melina did leave Destiny because she had a stronger emotional connection to a different guy that she maybe met through their relationship being open or whatever, it's entirely possibly the case that Melina would have met that person through her friend group either way, in which case, even if Destiny and Melina were monogamous, if she still formed that stronger emotional connection by, you know, talking to Tim and hanging out with him every day or whatever, then she would have still cheated on Steven and their relationship still would have ended. So the conservative prediction and justifications for their prediction are still absurd.
Showed that it was not stable, that you were not confident in it, even though you really wanted to prove to everybody that you did feel confident. Like, you allowed your wife to walk all over you and run around the world with other men. That is not a winning strategy.
Also, that wasn't like how the relationship worked. From what I've heard from Destiny, like, you know, from on his streams, is that he was hooking up with people more than Melina. It wasn't like this one-sided open relationship where Destiny was like some sort of cuck or whatever. He was, you know, participating in the open relationship as well, and in fact, you know, having more sexual partners than Melina was.
Somebody commented and said, how is bro still not red-pilled? Somebody else said, open relationships don't work and never have. That's the tweet. We could just literally end the episode with that. Thank you for watching.
That's actually true. That tweet is literally all this video is. It's just that claim and nothing more. Like, it's literally...
And that is not a winning strategy. Somebody commented and said, how was bro still not red-pilled? Somebody else said, open relationships don't work.
Yep, it's literally just this. And it's just because they feel that way. Well, anyways, that's it for this video, y'all. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.